This is Mike here at Absorb Self-Reliance. I'm glad you got to tune in, got to see a little bit going on. What I've got that I'm going to be working on is an Inkle loom. Now, trying to get into the late 18th, early 19th century, pretty much long hunter little thing that I want to get into that I've been kind of wanting to do since I was a kid. Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, things like that. Now I've learned about Hugh Glass over the years. I've learned about several other people that was in there, so they fascinate me. Well, to get some of the garments that they had, I'm having to make most of them myself. That's what I'll be doing with a lot of the series that's coming up, in that I'll still be doing my knives, still be doing the leather craft and stuff, but some of that stuff I'm going to carry over into that for making my own knife, making some of my own stuff that we have. So with that being said, stick around. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. This is not my idea. I did not create this. I actually like the video and almost the dynamic of what you'll see here. You can go watch. You may have already seen it through the Wilderness Outfitters with Dave Canterbury. It looked like he done it one early morning. Gave me the idea. Been waiting to do this thing for about 2 years. Finally found a couple of hours to get this done. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So it's a remake of a video that is already out there. So I'm not going to make it sound like I'm just coming up with this genius idea, because I didn't. He had took this idea, he put it out there, but I want it to go in the flow with my channel so that as I'm progressing, you'll be able to watch a series of things and stay with one channel on my end of it, if you're so entitled to do that, if you're interested in it. So stick around, we'll see where we're at with it. Okay, so what we have here is going to be a 1x4. Now this is just a regular spruce 1x4, it's nothing fancy. I tried to pick one that had the least amount of knots at all possible. What I'm going to do is tell you a list of what we're going to cut, then I'm going to cut it without talking, and then we'll go putting it together. So what we need is one 30-inch long 1x4. You're going to need two that are 15 inches long, which will be your uprights. And then there was actually another piece that was left over, which was, he had said on his, it was just left over out of an 8-foot. I went with a 10-foot just in case I needed some. So I'm assuming it was about 24 inches. I could add this math up and tell you exactly what that piece was, but it was just scrap, so it really doesn't matter. It's just going to be making an arm to slide in and out. Lay this at an angle just so that I'll know. And I'm just marking it out so I'll know where to put it back at. A little bit of glue. Oops, put this on this way. We don't need a whole lot at all. Just something other to help it out a little bit. Get that put back, lined up. I'm going to take and drill some pilot holes. Let's go ahead and let's shoot in a couple of screws. Now, from what I gathered is there's no method to this. You're just wanting that piece there to be about the same. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put me in a little casing that should go back into it there. Worked with spruce or pine. Here this is the corking, because if you run through it wide open, you're going to crack it. Well, majority of the time you will. I've got another piece that's 17 inches long. I'm going to kind of put it about right in here. And I want it to come over that 3/4 by 3/4, which is what this is. He done a neat little trick, but I'm just going to put this right here. Put this right here in the center. I'm going to take a ruler that I've got, and this will be my drill line for the top. I'm going to put my glue on down here, so knowing about where I want to end it in between the two for my glue, mark it. easing up on it right here with just a little bit of glue. I'm kind of going right over the whole line so that they'll make a little bit of a hole and help glue it. Whoops, turned it the wrong way. Line this back up. We'll put us a few screws in. What I've got here is a 1-inch wooden dowel. This is a hardwood dowel. They didn't have any of the softwood. But I need them to be 6 inches long. So I put a mark right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. But I know that that's 6 inches so I can make a faster set of cuts. I need 8 of these. So let's go ahead and get them cut. Alright, so here we have 8 of them. I'll need to round the edges down some so it doesn't snag on it. Using a vise, just find the center. Really little tight. Just for these rough edges around here where they've been cut. It really ain't going to matter except for when you go to picking it up later. You just don't want to get a splinter in your hand. Inches, 2 inches, and then it was 7.5, which was what we put inside there. Pretty much the same thing is going to be done over here as it was over there because you want them to be opened out. So we have 7.5, 2 inches, and we'll go 2 from down here, which would have been 13, but I don't know why I didn't just do that. So now we have all of our marks for the 2 tops. Same thing. Just so we can kind of get our center. One-half mark if you want it just dead center of it. I've done it, so I might as well do it now. Half of a one before is let's drill each one of those in the center. Going to take a little bit of glue, let it work its way down in there whenever it shoots through. Put us a little on the edge. Take this, it's going to be hard for you to catch it, but we're going to stick it right on there, and then we're going to shoot that screw in nice and slow. That gives it stability to where it holds out. We're going to repeat this same process all the way around. Now we have to make room for that other peg. We're going to put it about right here. In right there. We'll put us a screw in. This will be a floating back and forth. Okay, I'm going to put a set of legs on this. I've marked them down 4 1/4. I got 2 12-inch pieces that I had. The reason I'm doing that is later if I decide to put this up on a stand, I'll have something that I can screw into. And plus, when building it, I just don't like the sturdiness of it. Probably should have came over a little bit closer, but I didn't, so that's that. I'm going to mark both sides of this so I can get a guideline of where I'm going to put my screws at. I'm just going to pre-drill me a few holes in here just for the legs itself. put us a little bit of glue inside of it. I just didn't have it, but it's clamped. They'll go in right here, and that's what you make to go through. I've seen a little bit on it, but I'm going to learn that. But I'm not going to go ahead. I've got 2 wing nuts that eventually I'm probably going to go ahead and route out like a section here about 4 inches and about 4 inches here, and I can adjust it up and down 4 inches, but I'm not for sure if I'm going to do that. Alright guys, here it is, my version of an Inkle Loom from the Wilderness Outfitters, Dave Canterbury. It's almost a step-by-step copy, with the exception of the 2 legs with it. You check his channel out. Most of you probably have already seen this. It's not something, but it's going to help me with my series when I get started out with the 18th and 19th century long hunter. It's some stuff that I've been wanting to do for quite a long time and never really had the time. This here has been on my agenda to do for 2 years now, and I just finally got around to do it 2 years later, almost to the anniversary. I think it was in December something other when I seen it, and we're approaching December very well, or very close. So again, not my ideal, wasn't my plans. It's pretty much a copy. Sorry if I offended anyone with it. Wasn't my intentions. My intentions is for me to be able to start a series and showing you how to get started in this here if it's something that you're interested in reenactment and things of that nature, or just trying to live like they did and do some videos on it. So I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for all the support, and I'll catch you guys on another one.